Hey, hi everyone. So we will wait for 2-3 more minutes for others. Then we will start the session. Yes, so we start now. So on yesterday, I already told you. So we are done with the DevOps program. And from today, we are going to start with the automation testing. And for automation testing, we have our new trainer, Miss Rajni, with us for next 8 days. And she have 10-year plus experience in the IT industry. And she trained thousands of students in automation testing. So Rajni ma'am, welcome to the automation testing program,
Thank
initiative
you.
under the everyday learning, and hand over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Amar. Thank you for a very nice introduction. Hi, guys. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity, Amar. Thank you. So, hi, everyone. Good evening. How are you all? Yes. So, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. You can type in the chat, ask questions, and yeah. So, we'll start with the discussion. So I hope you all are doing good. We'll start with our discussions about the software testing, automation testing, how we perform the testing. So we have some of the topics to discuss in this 8 days program to learn automation testing and understand what the software testing is all about. Okay. Hi Venkatesh, good evening. Yeah. How are you, Venkatesh? Good? Okay. Good. Guys, feel free to talk, type in the chat. Okay. So I want responses from everyone. Okay. So I will be asking questions in between. So pay attention. So, yes. So this should be the interactive session, not just one way that I'm taking session and you guys are only listening. So I want participation from every one of you. Hi, Rakesh. Hi, Babu. Hi, Priyanka. Hi, Anmol. Okay. Yeah. Hi, hi. Hi, everyone. Okay. So we have good response. Yes, good. So keep the sessions interactive. So respond. Okay. And join with your names, guys. Okay. So some of people have joined with the DVS or some names, which is not professional. You can join with your actual names. Okay. So which is good, right? You can rename your name. Okay. So, okay, guys, so we'll get started. Let me know once you're able to see my screen. Okay, I'm sharing. Yes, able to see the screen? Everyone? Okay. Yes, good. Good. Thank you, Priyanka. Thank you for confirmation. Yeah, good. So, okay, quick questions about what you know about software testing. Okay. So, able to see? Good. Yeah, good. So, what do you think about or what do you know about the testing? What is software testing? Anyone just idea about what is testing, what is software testing, or something you heard about it? Yes. Okay. So finding the bugs and fixing it. Okay. So some of you are saying deploying our plans to defect free application and okay, developer code checkout the team, waterfall or agile. Okay. So process of evaluating and verifying that software product or application does what it's supposed to do. Yes, Priyanka, correct. Pretty much detailed. Yes. Okay. So we will start from very basics. Okay. So what is testing? Testing of any application in general, you test. So test for its a quality, right? Suppose you are buying any product, you test for a quality, right? Yes or no? You're purchasing anything, right? So as a user, you want a quality, then only you are okay to pay. In the same way, the testing is also about the same. Okay. So software testing, when we say, so it is testing the software, that is clear. Okay. So for what we test for the requirements. Requirements means what it is supposed to do. For that, we test. So Priyanka, very much accurate. Your answer is very good. So, what is software testing? So, it is the process in which we have checkpoints to determine whether we met the objective or not. Okay, so what is the objective here? Suppose you are testing the application, very famous or we use on a day-to-day basis, we will use that. Okay, suppose you are testing Facebook. Okay, so how you will test it? You will test for a login. You will test as a new user, you are able to register. As a user, you want to post something, so you will test for. As a user, I'm able to post something for my friends. Okay, the your friends can comment on it, reply to it, like, dislike, some of the things. Okay, so you will be testing for the features it is having. Okay, so software testing is the process in which we have the checkpoints to determine whether the objective is met or not. So what is the objective here? For whatever it is developed, that objective we are meeting. Okay, so the purpose of software testing is to identify what is not working. Okay, so verification, validation, yes. Okay, Vinod. Okay, so yes, it is a process of verification. It is a process of validation. Yes, we can say that also, correct, Vinod. So when we say it is a process of verification, so we verify that it is or is it correct or not. Yes. So we verify it is correct. It is correct means it should work as expected. Right. So it should work as expected means what? It is working as expected. Then we say it is pass. Okay. So what is pass and fail? Whatever is working as per expected. For example, you are testing Facebook application, you are testing login and login is working. So you will say login is pass. If you are not able to log in, okay, so it is in the testing phase, it is in the newly developed and testing phase, suppose, and the application, and then you are not able to test. So then you will say login is fail, login is not working. So whatever is fail is Whatever is not working, that is fail. So in this process of testing, we find out the bugs. Whatever is the failure, that is bug. Okay. So we will see what is a bug in detail. So if in case it is failed, means it is a bug. Okay. So testing is the process in which you identify what is working, what is not working. In general language, you can think or you can take a definition as is like you're testing for its features. If that features are working, that is pass. If not, then that is a fail. So it is a process in which you check or you verify whether it is working as per the expectations or not. Okay. So this is about software testing. Fine, clear everyone? Yes, a quick reply, yes, no. Yes. Good. Okay. Good, good. Thank you. Thank you, Khan. Thank you, Ankita. Good, good. Good. Okay. So good. We have good number of replies. Yes. So now we will see what is software testing and then what are the types. Okay. So the types are based on the how we do. There are two types. Okay. So how we perform the testing based on that. There are two types of testing on a broad perspective. Okay. On a higher level, there are two types. So what is manual testing? The first type of testing is manual testing. So testing done by the person. Okay, a person does, that is manual testing. Okay, so then how we do the testing? So in person will launch the URL. Okay, and then he will input the username, he will input password, then he will click on a login. That is testing manually. So that is called as manual testing. Okay. So then another type is automation testing. On a broad perspective, there is another type, that is automation testing. So what is automation testing? The testing done with the help of tools. Okay. So we are going to learn about what is a tool. We are going to learn about Selenium, Java. Okay. So automation testing is testing done by the tools. So how we do the testing with the tools? You might be having questions. So we have some set of commands. You will use that commands to run the verification process. Okay, your verification validation process. The commands you will write to perform the steps. Okay, so to launch a URL, you will have a command, you will use that. Okay, to click on a particular element, you have a set of command, you will use it. Okay, so then learning about those commands and using those statements to write in Selenium Java. Okay, so that is automation testing. So now you are writing the code to test the code. That is automation testing. Okay, understood? Okay, so based upon how we do, these are the two types. Yes, so we are going to learn automation testing with the Selenium Java. And with manual testing, or for manual testing, how we do? So manual testing is done by the in person. Okay, you may be just maintaining the pass-fail status in the Excel sheet. Okay, what is working, what is not working, that you are maintaining in an Excel or some document or some other tool, but it is done by the person. Okay, so manual QA. So manual testing roles are called as manual QA. Okay, so quality assurance is a QA. So manual QA will do the manual testing. Okay, the role is QA role. And automation testing role is QA engineer role, which is done by the automation scripts. So automation testing, the code is written by person, but the execution is done, that is using the commands. Okay, so some set of commands we write. Okay, the set of commands may be to launch a URL, set of commands may be to click on a particular element, set of commands may be to open another window and then close a window, handling the alerts. These all things you will be able to handle with automation. Okay, so for automation, you will develop a framework, entire code is developed, and just with a one click, all commands will be executed. Okay. If you have Jenkins, CI/CD integration, everything, so without human presence, the automation suite will start executing. Results will be sent to the email IDs. Okay, so what is the result? The pass-fail result will also be calculated automatically with the code. The verifications will happen. The assertions we will write in automation testing, and then reports will be sent. So no presence of human is required. Okay, so everything is done with the tool automatically. So that is automation testing. Okay, so clear manual testing, automation testing. A quick reply, everyone. Yes, yes, no. You want me to repeat? Clear? Okay, good. Okay, so a quick question then. Okay, so what is automation testing? Yes, a question. What is automation testing? What do you feel? What is automation testing? Okay, Rakesh, correct. Ankita, correct. Yes, Deepak, correct. Yes, everyone. Okay, automatically done by the tool. Okay, open source tool. Yes. Okay, it may be open source tool or any paid tool. Okay, automation is not defining on the paid or open source. So Selenium is open source. We are going to learn that. Okay. So open source is nothing to do with this. Okay. Test case base execute script. Okay. Test cases are executed with the script. Yes. Swami, correct. Sanket is a process of testing and other tech products to ensure meet the strict requirement. Okay. So executed with the help of tools. Yes, correct. Okay. So many of you are able to answer, which is very good. Are we going to learn core Java also? I think yes. Okay. So fundamentals of Java we are going to learn on a day 4. Okay. On a day 3, I think. Yeah. Yes. Anji Babu, did I answer your question? Okay. Yeah. Good. So we will continue with another. So are we focusing only with Java, Selenium or Java or Python with Selenium also? So we are going to focus for Selenium Java. Okay. So the focus will be on Selenium Java. At a time, only one you learn, which is sufficient to get a QA engineer job. Okay. So you can focus one thing. Anything is fine. If you want to focus on Python, Selenium, that is also fine. Only one tool if you learn completely, that will give you a QA automation job. Okay. So good. Good. So we are good with the testing types on a high level. Okay. So in detail, we will say what are the testing types. Okay. So in detail, there are different types of testing. When we perform which type of testing, that is, we are going to discuss. Okay. So the software testing has 2 types, okay, which are functional and non-functional. So QA automation role is all about functional testing. Performance testing or non-functional testing is completely different stream. Okay. So we are not going to perform the non-functional testing. Non-functional testing is also called as performance testing. Okay. So what we test or what is done in the performance testing? The performance of the application, how much time it is taking to load the page. Related to that, the testing will be done. So which is performance testing. So we are not going to go in detail for the non-functional or performance testing. So as a automation engineer, you will be part of functional testing team and then working on the functional testing side of the application. So what is functional testing? Testing the functionalities, features of the application is nothing but a functional testing. Okay. So whatever the functions or features, consider Facebook. What are the features? Login and then registration. You have other posting the images or your post, sending the request, accepting the request. These are different functionalities. Okay. These are different features of the application, which is Facebook. Okay. So these are the different functionalities of application. So testing these functionalities, the core business logic, the functionalities is the functional testing. Then these are the types of functional testing. Okay, so as a part of functional QA, functional testing team, you will be part of all these testing types. So what is done in the functional testing? So in the functional testing, you will be verifying login, registration, okay, all the features, which are all the functionalities, right? So this is functional testing. Okay, clear? Yes, functional testing means login your testing, posting the like your updates, sending the request, accepting the request. That is core functionality of your application. You are testing, that is functional testing. Okay. So to test the functionality, you will get a requirement. So which is description about the feature. What is requirement? Description about the features of the application. So login description you get in the form of requirements. Everything you get in the form of requirement from the client. Okay. So now at this, we will see how the industry is, how the structuring is, and yeah. So we'll see how this happens. Okay. So there are different teams in the development. Able to see the screen, guys? Yes. Yes. Okay. Diagram. I'm drawing something. Able to see? Yes. Okay. So there is a dev team. Okay. So you have a dev team. Okay. So which is okay. So I'll take as a text. So there is a dev team you have, and then you have a QA team. Okay. So what is dev team? They will use, so they are developing this application. So you are testing Amazon or Facebook, any of the application. The development team is, they are writing the code. Okay. So what they will use for the writing the code? Okay. So what languages, different languages they will use? Okay. So HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Okay. So everything, all the languages. Okay. JavaScript. And then databases. This all is used for the development. Okay. So fine. Okay. Consider these are all the languages they are using. Okay. So as a QA, you will be testing this application which is developed. Okay. So when we start the testing, once the development is done, yes, once the code is ready, then only you can test or we can test. Yes or no? When the QA will start the testing? Once the application is ready. Okay. Yes, they will use full stack development, many things. Okay. Many languages code. They can use anything, Java, Python, or anything, databases, front end, back end, APIs, everything will be used in order to develop. Okay. So then fine. Okay. What is a QA? QA is quality assurance. QA is nothing but a testing. Okay. Quality assurance or a testing team. QA team or a testing team people call. Okay. So QA is, we can say QA is the standard name of testing. Okay. So the industry uses the name QA. No one will say testing. Okay. So which is not good also. Okay. So this is, okay. So there is client. Okay. So okay, so client will give the requirements. Okay, so there is a client. So client will give the requirement. Okay, so I will write it in this form. Okay, so suppose consider there is a team of people, they are working. Okay, so they are client. So your client is going to give the requirement. So QA team will take, and dev team will also take the requirement from the client. So guys, no need to turn on the videos. Okay, so in between, please make sure that you are on mute. Okay, so you are not turning on. Okay, so okay, so this is about. Okay, okay, fine. So you and development team, QA team will be part of any of the tech team or any of the tech company. Okay, so consider any tech company. So you are a part of the tech company. Okay, so and the QA is QA development. All are the member of tech company. So the requirements will be taken from the client. Okay, it is development as well. So So development team will also take the requirement from the client. QA team will also take the requirement from the client. Okay. And then start working on it. So once the development is done, the code is ready. It is given to testing team. So testing team will test. Okay. Testing team will test that features. What features? Login feature, right? Or you have registration. As a new user, you will register for a Facebook. Okay, so then this client is, who is this client? This client is Facebook or any client you consider. Okay, so this client is a Facebook people or a Amazon people who are working, or for whom you are working, or your tech company is working. Okay, they are developing a product or a service for this. Okay, so in this process, now the requirements are given by the client. Okay. So you have to understand the requirements, right? So then once you understand the requirement, you will start the testing. Similarly, developer also will start the understanding. They will start the understanding and then they will develop it, give it to the testing. Okay. So in testing, you find any of the errors or bugs, any mismatch. So login is not working, you will communicate, right? So you will communicate to developer that login is not working. If registration is not working, you will communicate that registration is not working. So then testing will happen. Okay. So this is the process of testing. Anything not working, testing team is going to update development team is going to change the code. Yes, they will change the code and again give it to the QA for a retesting. Okay. So this is the testing team. Okay. So this is testing team. They are performing the testing. Okay. So fine. Clear? So in this process of testing, you will find the defects. Whatever is not working, that is called as defect, right? So if login is not working, then you will report a defect saying that login functionality is not working. Okay, development is also testing testing team will be tested. Okay, we know only development. Okay, only testing team will test. Development team will just test high level on a high level. Okay, so whatever code they have written, unit testing they will do, not in detail. Okay, if any organization is developed application using specific language, being automation test, we have to knowledge on a Java application, any comfortable also written. Okay. Deepak, so for any of the language, they may use Python, they may use Java, JavaScript, anything, you no need to know that language. No, it is not requirement that you should know the design and then code what they have written. No, that is not the need. Automation testing you can do with Selenium, Java, no matter that they are using in the backend Python, they are using some other languages, no matter. Okay. We have other questions? No. Okay, fine. Okay, so then we will again see this. Okay, so now we will see what are the types of testing, who will do what type of testing. So understood the background of like how the team is. Yes. Yes, guys, able to understand how the team is. Right, what is the QA team, what is a dev team, who is a client. Okay, what is requirement. Yes, able to understand. Yes, able to understand. Okay, good. Okay, fine. Yes, just a minute, guys. Okay, clear? Okay. So to test functionality of a software or application. Yes. So we are testing the application features, the functionalities. Okay. So what is the industry structure, how it works, from where we take the requirement. Okay. Who is working on what is the testing team, what they will do. Understood? Okay. So what testing team will do? They will test and report, okay, this is not working. What is the QA role? Ultimately, QA is the responsibility of QA is testing and then reporting the bugs. Okay. So reporting what is not working, any mismatch in the expected and actual, you have to communicate. Okay. So that is a QA job. Exactly. Yes. Ultimate QA job is to report the bugs, what things are not working as per the expectations. That may be small issue, that may be anything. Okay. Not able to log in might be the bigger issue. Maybe your name is displayed with some incorrect details. Maybe the spelling is incorrect or some information is incorrect. That is also a bug. Okay. So any deviation, anything, it may be smaller, bigger, that is the bug. Okay. Main aim is to bug free web application. Yes. So main aim of testing is, or main aim of this testing is to improve the quality and give a quality product to the customer. When customer is using, he should not have the issue. Okay. So whenever customer is using or it is in the production live to the end user. Okay. So now Facebook is available to you, everyone, to all of us, right? It is available in the public. So before that is available to public, testing is already done. That's why we never get some issues, right? We are always able to log in. Okay, we are able to register. How? That is already tested, right? Yes. Okay, so 100% bug free is not possible, but maximum cases we will cover. Okay, so how much we can cover in the testing, that much we will try to cover the scenarios. Okay, that is a testing principle. It says that 100% of testing, and then testing done for all the features. Application is tested completely. Exhaustive testing is not possible. Okay. Correct. Correct, Prashant. Correct. Okay. So this is about, okay. So now we will see about the types of testing. Okay. The basic we will see. The unit testing first we will see. What is unit testing? Okay. So unit testing is testing done by the developer. It is the only testing done by the developer. Okay. What they do in that, they will test the pages, okay, the alignments on a page, and then individual features of the application, just smallest component of the application. Unit means, what is unit meaning is, unit means smallest component, right? So smallest component individually it will be tested. That is unit testing. Okay, so that is unit testing. Clear? So it is the white box testing. Okay. So white box testing means testing done by looking at a code. Okay. So testing done by looking at a code is the white box testing. Okay. So unit testing is the only testing that is white box testing. And then testing done by looking at a code. Okay. And it is done by the developer. Okay, so this is the only testing that is done by the development team. Immediately they develop, they will check. Okay, so that is unit testing. What is next? We will see. Okay, so next is component testing. Component means your login is a component, posting some comments or posting some post, and then reply to it, or sending a request. That are different components. Okay, send request, accept request is the one component, login logout is the one component. So one module is tested in the component. Okay, yes, black box testing is done by the QA testing team. Yes, correct. So remaining this all, okay, so remaining this all types of testings are, okay, so these all types of testing are done by the development team, and that is black box testing. Okay. So that is black box. This is the only unit testing, that is white box testing. Okay. So what is component testing? The module is tested in the component testing. Component means one module. One module means it may be login is the one module that is tested. Okay, not just a single page. Okay, you just launch a home page, then you log in, and then you are able to see the home page after login. Okay, and then you are able to log in. So different pages are involved in it, right? Not just a single page. One component you are testing. Okay. So that is your component, one module you are testing. So it is a bigger component. Unit testing is very small. Just your individual page is tested. Maybe the labels, icons, everything is displayed properly on a page. That is tested on a unit testing. Yes. Yes. Gray box testing is both. Okay. So fine. Unit testing understood. Component testing is module you are testing. Okay. The module you are testing in the component testing. Then we will see about the system testing. So what is system testing? Testing your application on a different operating systems. Okay, so Facebook application testing on a mobile, okay, maybe on an iPhone or an Android phone, maybe on a Windows platform or a Mac OS. So that testing the application on the different operating system is the system testing. So system has a whole, it is tested. Okay, so it is tested system as a complete system tested on a different platforms. Okay. So component testing is the module testing. One particular module is tested. Okay. System testing is entire, all the features of your system will be tested on a different operating systems. Okay. Clear? So now unit testing, component testing and system testing. Clear everyone? Regression and retesting are different. Yes, guys. Okay. That we will discuss. What is regression, retesting? Okay. So we have regression testing to discuss. So now focus on the what we are discussing. Okay. So which OS we prefer will be completely depending on the client. Okay. So if a client says test on the Windows or Mac OS or particular this one, then the focus will be on that OS. Okay. So it is from the client. Okay. So client knows better what he wants. Okay. What is end user he is having. So based on that market or based on the product, client will give those details. Okay. So if a client is asking test on a mobile devices, then we will test on a mobile device. If client is saying do not test on a mobile, just test on a Windows OS like laptop and then systems, or test on a tab or test on a particular device, then we'll test on that. Okay. So it is completely on the client. Yes. Okay, Rakesh, I mean which OS is best for testing? Okay, best for testing. It is not that way. Anything is fine. Okay. So as a student, if you want to learn, practice, Windows is best. Okay. So use Windows systems, that is everywhere used. Okay. So Linux, you're saying you can use it on your priority by like basis or your availability. Based on that you can use, based on your interest, based on your availability of the machine which you have, you can use it. Okay. For Selenium, I can say that you can use Windows 10 or 11. Anything is fine. Windows 7 will also work. Okay. So for learning the testing, you can use any of this. Basic requirements, 2 GB RAM is enough. Okay, Windows 7 is also fine. Yes. So for testing or learning the automation testing, basic requirements are any Windows 10, Windows 7, or any basic laptop with basic features, it is fine. Okay, so it will work. Fine. So we will discuss about Selenium as well. Okay, what all operating systems it support, all the things we will discuss. Okay. Fine. So now we will see about the user acceptance testing. Okay. So what is user acceptance testing? After you do the system testing. Okay. So after you completed your testing. Okay. After you have completely done your testing, then you will hand over application to the client. Okay. So then client will perform the user acceptance testing. This is also called as UAT testing. UAT means the full form is user acceptance testing. Okay. So user acceptance testing, UAT testing is done by the client people or a client side people once you have given it for a, once you said that all the features you completely tested and working fine, all the means majority of the features what you can test, you tested, and then it is ready for the use. Then client will do the UAT testing from his side. Okay, so client will perform a UAT testing from his side and then they will release it to the market. They will decide. Okay. Yes. So unit testing is done by the client side people. Okay. Fine. Yes. Okay. So automation saves time and money. Yes, Prashant. Yes, it saves time, a lot of time, a lot of money, lot of rework, lot of efforts. Yes. Okay. So automation testing done by the tool. Okay, fine. What is the difference, Aditya? Okay. We discussed about the difference. Okay. Automation saves the time. Okay, correct. Correct. Okay, why we use Selenium only? Yes, that we will discuss. That we are going to discuss in tomorrow's session or day after tomorrow. Okay. So now tell me guys, able to understand what is user acceptance testing? Yes, no questions or any questions? Yes, if you don't have questions, then I have questions. Okay. So tell me what is UAT testing? Done by the user. Okay. Other tools. UAT testing, user acceptance testing. Yes, Deepak, correct. Yes, all the features are working and it is ready for the release. Final stage of any software development, then it will be, yes, user acceptance testing is done and then it is released to the market. Yes, others. Okay. Yes, correct. Correct, Ankita. Good. What is the basic difference between the testing? Okay. So I didn't get your question. Can you please elaborate your question? Ever testing is what is? Okay. Fine. Now we will see what is regression testing when we do the regression testing. Okay. So suppose you are testing in this. Okay. So suppose you are testing. In this testing, you have 100 test cases. Okay, how many test cases you have? Suppose 100, 200 test cases. All 100 test cases are to test your features, right? All the modules, components. To test all the modules, components, you have 100 test cases. Okay, good, Venkatesh, correct. Okay, so 100 test cases you tested, then some will pass, some will fail. Yes or no? Yes, few test cases are passed, few test cases are failed. Suppose 80 test cases are passed. Okay, suppose you have 80 are passed and then few are failed. Okay, so failed are 20. Yes. So what you will do for the failed ones? So failed ones will again go to the development, right? So developer has to fix it. Yes, this failed one developer has to fix. Fix means what? They have to change the code. Yes. So they have to change the code in the application. Okay, whatever is the failed ones, that will again developer has to fix. So developer has to fix means there is a code change. All these languages they are using, so they will change the code. Some code is changed. Yes or no? So when there is a code change, whatever is passed, whatever is already tested and passed. Okay, suppose you tested and it is passed, that may fail. Yes or no? Because of the code change. Yes, because of the code change, some things which you already tested can fail. Yes. Why? Because there is a code. Behind the code, there is, you are changing the code, it can affect to other functionalities which are tested and which were working fine. So in regression, we check after the defect fixes, the working features are not affected. Okay. So how we test then? Working features are not affected. So we perform the regression. So we perform not all the 80 entirely we will test. Some part of 80 we will test so that we are sure that nothing has been changed in the modules which are working fine, which are already tested. Okay. So not all the features, okay, not these complete working features are affected because of the code change. Because of the code change, this is not changing or that is not affecting. So because of the code change, your recent code change, because of the recent code change, the working features or working functionalities are not affected. So that is regression testing. Okay. So that is regression testing. What you test in the regression testing? So in the regression testing, we perform regression testing after the defect fixes, after the code change. The working functionalities are not getting failed, are not impacted. Okay? Fine. Yes, clear? Okay. So good. Regression testing clear? Yes. Good. Okay. So now we will see interface testing. What is interface testing? Okay. So interface means APIs, application programming interface. The two applications can communicate with the APIs without language barrier. Okay. So your application can be in any of the language. Okay. Suppose you have a simple application, we will take an example of. You might have used this Ola, Uber, right? So they are developed on top of the Google Maps APIs. Okay. So they will take your location, driver location, and then ride is created. And then pay is calculated depending on the distance. Okay. And then the type of you are selecting. Okay. The type of car or the auto you are selecting based on that. Okay. So such applications are able to communicate with other applications, that is with the APIs. So APIs with interfaces. So these interface is tested in this interface testing. So what are the APIs? The APIs will communicate to two different platform applications. They may be same or they may be different. Okay. So what is the meaning of the applications with the different platforms? Okay. So yes, able to see the screen, guys? Yes. Yes. Okay. So there may be or only one application you have and there will be the APIs. Okay. So suppose you are testing Facebook, Facebook will have the APIs. Whatever you posted, that post are created. Okay. The core business logic is developed with the APIs. Data is displayed. Okay. So the APIs will be tested with the request and response. Okay. So interfaces are tested in the interface testing. Okay. Interface is testing the APIs. What is API? API is a core business logic. Okay. So whatever you added a post on a Facebook, for example, okay, that is available in your login. So somewhere it is stored on a database or somewhere it is, and then again it is displayed to you when you relog in tomorrow, day after tomorrow, or it is available for others as well. How that everything is stored, displayed, that all, how it is maintained, that entire core business logic is developed with the APIs. Okay. So how these APIs communicate with the request and response? What is request and response? So you are requesting for something, you will get a response, right? So if you hit the endpoint or the URL, okay, google.co.in. So you get a page, google.co.in. So Google page is open. So for every request, the response is given. So the request and response is tested in the interface testing, that is API testing. Clear? No, we are not going to create any APIs. The APIs are created by the development team. Okay. So the team will create the APIs. Okay. So backend development, it is a part of, and then APIs are developed. So API is also developed. API is nothing but an interface, application programming interface. Okay. So APIs are also developed. So you are testing those APIs is nothing but a API testing. We are not developing, testing the APIs. Okay. So how we test these APIs? Using the tool. Okay. Okay, I'll repeat once again. User acceptance testing is done after the testing is done. Okay, QA testing is completed and all the defects are fixed. And then application testing is completed. It is in the final stage. Your application development is in the final stage. It is majority of the features you tested and then are working fine. Then you will give it to the client for the final, okay, final release to the end market or for end user. So before releasing to the market, client will perform a UAT testing to make sure that all the features are working as per my expectations, right? So client side people will do this UAT testing. Okay, Josh, correct? Yes. Okay, understood? Yes, Suman, understood? Okay, so now we will see what is API testing. API testing is interface testing. Yes, we have break. Okay. Yes, there is a order of testing. Yes, we will see that all. Okay, so now we will take a break. Then we will discuss about interface testing in detail, and then smoke and sanity. What is the difference? Okay, and then some of the other topics we will discuss after the types of testing is done. Okay, so now we will take a 10 minutes break here. Okay. Hi guys. So as I said, it is 10 minutes break. Yes. So everyone back? Yes. Is everyone back? Yes, no. Can we get a quick replies? Okay. So able to see the screen? Yes. Types of testing, able to see the screen. Okay. So now we will see the interface testing. Okay. So what is interface? Testing the APIs is nothing but the interface testing. Okay. So what is APIs? Application programming interface is the core logic of the business. You send a request, you get a response that is tested in the form of request and response. Okay. So different tools are used to test the request and response. Okay. So it may be Postman tool that is used. Okay. So interface testing is testing the APIs. Okay. Fine. So now we will see what is the smoke and sanity testing. Okay. So when do we perform the smoke testing? When do we perform the sanity testing? And what is the sequence of testing that is been done? Okay. So once the developer has given a build to you. Okay. So what is initially your developer has given you, okay, so the code to test. Then you will not start the complete testing, you will perform the smoke testing. So what is the smoke testing? Quickly you will check the basic flow, the application is stable, features are developed, login is working, some pages are displayed. Okay, you are able to proceed with the detailed testing. So you will check quickly in 10 minutes, are you able to, or enough features are developed? Will you be able to test in detail? And then application is stable or not. So you start with the complete testing. Okay. So initial quick check. Initially when the deployment is given for the testing. Okay. Developer will give you the deployment for the testing. Right. So once it is given for the testing, you will test it, and then the smoke testing is you will perform. So what is the smoke testing? With this you can understand smoke testing is testing on a high level that application is stable, basic flow is working. Okay. So this is your smoke testing. So then what is sanity testing? So sanity testing is similar to the smoke testing. Okay, so once the build is given for the testing, you will check that application is stable. Okay, and then you will start the complete testing. So in this testing, before you actually start the complete testing, you will test for the application is stable, not breaking. So what is the difference now? Okay. So both the testing definitions are looking same. Yes, both the testings are looking like same. Initially, you will perform in the 15 minutes and then you will verify application is stable and then you are able to continue. Okay. So high level means only the important features we will test, such as login, posting something. Okay, the basic flow, not that in detail testing. Okay, not the in detailed testing. You might be having 100 test cases, that is complete 100 test cases for the feature. Not generally in the real time, thousands of test cases will be there to test the any application. So 1,000 test cases you will not test the in the smoke. So only important features we will test. Maybe 5, 10, 20. That's it. Smoke testing has to be done by all the testers or only one tester test the build is? Yes, only one tester will do or one or two testers will do. Okay, then they will send a mail that okay, it is smoke testing is passed. We will be continuing with the in detailed testing. Okay, so how generally bill will be given? So you will receive a mail as a QA. You will receive a mail that deployment is done on this environment. Please start the testing. Okay, so then once you receive that mail, you will start and then you will perform the smoke testing and then you will reply to the mail that smoke testing is passed. We will continue with the in detail testing. If in case smoke is failed, smoke is when it is failed, your application is not stable. Login itself is not working. Okay, you are not able to log into the Facebook application. What you will test? Nothing. You will reply to the mail saying that smoke testing has been failed. We will not continue with the detailed testing. Okay, clear now? Okay, so similar to this, sanity is also same. You will receive a mail, okay, start the testing and then you will check application is stable or not. And then you will reply sanity testing is passed if the application is stable. If application is not stable, you are getting 503 error or some pages are not available, server error you are getting, and then you will reply to the mail saying that build is not stable, sanity testing has been failed, QA will not continue with the testing. Okay, so then now what is the differences in the smoke and sanity? Okay, so the sanity testing you perform on an application which is developed already, which is already available in the market, which is already released in the already released it to the market. Some releases are completed, application is in the development from 2-3 years, and then you are testing for the application, new features are added. Because of new features, the application is not breaking, so that is we do the sanity testing. So what is the smoke testing we do? Smoke testing is when your application is very new. It is initial development. Then you will perform a smoke testing for the application has enough features, basic flow is working fine. Okay. Sanity is whereas application is stable, new features, whatever. After Facebook is launched, there are new features been added. Okay. So then after new feature is added, the entire application is stable and working fine. That is in the sanity testing we perform. Okay. So in the later stage of development, once the testing is done, few iterations are completed, application is available in the market, then we perform the sanity testing. So for a product which is already tested, already available in the market, already release is completed. For that, for such application, you perform the sanity testing, whereas the application is very new, newly developed. Okay, so then you will perform a smoke testing. Okay, so now clear smoke and sanity. What is the difference? Able to understand? Okay, good. Okay, yes, good. Okay. So smoke and sanity testing is fine. Okay, now we will discuss about the other things. Okay, what is the test case? What is the scenario? Okay, so I have some of the templates to show you what is the test case, what is the scenario. Okay, so for a testing, you will create a scenario first. Okay, so testing, you will create a scenario which is nothing but the high level description about what we are going to test. Okay, so able to see the Excel sheet? Yes. Can you please explain smoke and sanity once? Okay. Fine. So what is smoke and sanity? Okay. So your application is newly developed. Okay. When we say application is newly developed, means the initial it is. Okay. Facebook is in the initial days of development. Okay. So we check for the stability of the build, that enough features are developed. Okay, Deepak, my understanding, smoke testing is testing to check only the stability of the build, whereas sanity is to check the features in detail. No, sanity is not about features in detail. Sanity is also about checking on the features, only limited features we will test, but we will test for the stability. Okay, so the application is not breaking, it's not showing the errors, the page not found error or server errors, it is not breaking in between. Okay, maybe what happens when you add a code to the existing code may not work. Okay, may break. So you are checking for the breaks where it is breaking. Okay, so sanity is also some limited test cases you will test. Okay, in the smoke testing also you will test only limited. In the sanity or in the smoke you will only test only 10-20 test cases, not more than that. In the 15 minutes, how much you can test? Just you will launch the URL, you will check whether it is stable, whether it is having like features to test. When we do the testing, guys, when there is some feature to test, when there is login is working, then you will be able to test the inside features of the login, right? Posting something, then commenting. If login is not working, will you be able to test? Yes. If login is not working, will you be able to test? No. Right? So if login is not working, how you will test user is able to post something? How you will test that user is able to comment on a post? Nothing. You can't do anything, right? So smoke testing we check, or a sanity testing we check that can we proceed with the testing or not. Okay, the objective is can we proceed or not. Objective is same for both smoke and sanity. But when we perform smoke, when we perform sanity, there is a difference. Okay, suppose I will write it. Smoke is done for the build which is in the initial phase of development. For the project which is in the initial days of development. So suppose you started recently the project development. So sanity you perform which is already tested. Project is in the maintenance. 2-3 years you are like project is being developed. Project is in the development from 2-3 years. Okay. Some releases are completed. Some releases are completed. And then you are performing testing to check the stability. Application is no breaking. Application is not breaking. Okay. And in the smoke, you will test for do we have enough features to test? Okay. And can we proceed with the further testing? Okay. Only difference is if the project is in the maintenance. So in short, if the project is in the maintenance, then you will perform a sanity testing. Okay. Yes. Fine. If it is in the maintenance, then you will perform the sanity. Okay. Fine. Okay, so but smoke testing could be done right before it is delivered to the client. Okay. No. Okay, so now we will see the process of testing, like when which testing is performed, or like how the testing will start or then continue. Okay. So first thing will be smoke or sanity. You will perform smoke testing or sanity testing whenever a build is given to you for a testing. You will reply, okay, whether it is pass or fail, smoke is pass, sanity is pass, that we will be continuing with the in detail testing. Enough features are available, build is stable, we will continue. Then you perform the, based on the release or based on the feature that are added, you will perform the component testing, that are newly added features you will test. Then all together system you will test. Okay. And then in between, whatever defects you got in the component testing, in the system testing, you will report to the developer. Then whatever defects you are reporting, okay, whatever defects you are reporting, the defects you will retest. Okay, so you reported defect here, yes or no? So once your developer has given a build to test, so you reported a defect, then the defects, for that defect there will be a code change, then defect will be again available for a retest. So at the time of retest, you will only focus on retesting the defect. Okay, suppose there is a defect, user is not able to like, or user is not able to comment on a post, user is not able to like a post, then you will only test that defect. You will log in and then you will test, okay, are you able to like or not, or a comment or not. That's it. That is retesting, testing the defect. Okay. What is regression testing? After all the defects are tested. Okay. So however, you will find some 10, 20. So 100 you have test cases. So suppose 20 are failed. So all 20 you will retest. Okay. So all 20 you will retest, and all retest is done pass. Okay. All retest is done pass. Then you will perform the regression testing to check whatever is tested, which was passed, is working fine. Okay. So then what is the flow now? So you are testing smoke sanity, that is done. Then there is a component testing, system testing. Then defects are discussed. Fixed retesting is done. Then you will perform a regression testing. And after regression is complete, you will give it for a UAT testing. Then user will do the UAT testing. Okay. So this is a flow sequence of testing. Yes. Fine. So now we will see what are the test cases scenarios. Okay. So able to see the Excel sheet, right? Yes. So in this, yes, able to see. Yes. So interface testing is not done. Yes, interface testing is also done in this testing complete. Okay. So if you have system testing, component testing, in that interface testing is also done. But it is not mandatory that interface testing is only done or not done. Okay, so it completely depends on the project to project. Not all the projects will test the interfaces. Okay, or many will do the interface testing as well. Okay, so now we will look at the test scenarios and test cases. Okay, so what is the scenario? Scenario is high level description about what feature we are going to test. Okay, so in this you will have the module as well. Okay, so where you will have the module name. So you are able to log in or not. So this is a login module. Okay, for a login module, you will write test scenario. How the tester will know the possible test cases. Yes, tester has to understand the requirement, then write the test cases and scenarios. So first thing after understanding the requirement, first thing is you have to write the test scenario. This is test scenario is high level description about what you are going to test. Okay. So this is your test scenario. Verify that user is able to log in. Okay. Then what is the test case? Test case is in detail. Test case will have a test case ID, which is unique. A test case description is description about what you are going to test. Verify user is able to log in. Precondition is the prerequisite that you should have in order to test this functionality or this test case. So what you should have, the URL you should have, or username, password, it should be available in order to test the login. So that is a precondition. These are the steps. Input the username, password. Okay, first is launch the URL, then input the username, password, then click on a login. These are the steps, step by step actions that you are going to perform to test. And then expected condition or expected result for that step. So at a step, input the URL, okay, or else enter the URL. Okay, so enter the URL. In that, user should be able to access the URL, right? So expected at that step is user should be able to access the URL. Then we have, after that, you will input username, password, then you will be able to log in. Okay, so these are the expected results. So your test case at the time of design, you will write steps and expected result. Okay. So you will write expected result, steps, precondition, test case ID, test description, everything at the time of designing. At the time of designing means after the test case, after the requirements are understood, you will design, then you will write all this. Okay. So actual results will be written when you test it. After you have done the testing, then actual results you will add whatever you are able to see. Enter the URL. So you will access the Facebook URL and then you are able to access the URL. You will write, okay. So actual results you will write in the present tense. Whatever is working. Yes. Okay, test scenario ID and test case ID will not be same. It is different. Okay. So the sequencing will be different or numbering will be different. Okay, test case ID is about test cases. Each scenario can have multiple test cases. Okay, so for a login scenario, you can write 3 test cases. Okay, one is for a invalid username, invalid password. You can write user is not able to log in. So like that, multiple combinations you can create for a test case. So test case IDs and test scenario IDs will be different. Okay, okay, Suman. Okay. Fine. Okay. So at the time of design means creating the test cases, you have written the actual and expected, okay, steps and expected result. So actual result you will write when actually you are testing. So on the day the build is given for the testing, that time you will perform the testing and then write the actual results. Whatever you are able to see. Suppose you are not able to log in. Okay. So suppose after input, after the user has given the input, okay, user is able to not log in. User is not able to log in. Okay. So in that case, you will write user is not able to log in. So now there is an expected result, user should be able to log in. And then actual result is user is not able to log in. I think attendance is given here. The page is okay. See, so actual result you will write user is not able to log in. In case you are not able to log in, then you will write fail. Okay. So if both are same, expected and actually same, it is pass. Right? What is the status of testing? What is the status of this step? User is able to input username and password. Yes. Okay. Others, what is the status of this? Pass or fail? Nothing. Everyone. When will tester will write the expected result? Expected result at the time of design. Before we test, we write. Before we test, what is the expectation we write? Yes. So at this actual result is pass. Correct. So when the actual result is fail, what we do then? If it is fail, what we have to do? Right? Tell me what we have to do if it is a fail one. Okay. So we have to need to report the bug, right? Correct. So we have to create a defect, right? Create a defect, suppose defect 01 you created, and then you will communicate to developer that login is not working. Please check login is not working. Okay. Okay, reflect the bug to yes. So this is the bug that you are going to create and then assign it to the developer. Yes. So create and assign it to the developer that, okay, this is what the bug is, and then okay. So you will report the defect as defect description you will give. So number of defects you will find like this. You will have number of test cases, right? Test case 1 is login, test case 2 is for registration, test case 3 is for some other functionality. So all the defects together you will create a bug report. Okay. So we have the defect 01 now. So how many defects we will have in a bug report? Tell me. Yes. And what is the defect that we have? So what is the defect we have and how many defects we have in the bug report? Yes. Okay. So good. So we have only one defect, that is user is not able to log in. Okay. So which is failed here at this step. So we created a bug and then that is assigned to this. Okay. So then bug report we created. So this is about the scenario, test case and bug report. So why we write this scenario? So that we are covering all the modules. So for the better coverage, we write the scenarios. Okay. So registration, you will create a scenarios. Okay. Some 10 scenarios you created for a consider, right? So you will create a scenario 2 for a registration, scenario 3 for again other sending a request. So your friend request, you will send, accept a request. For these different modules, you will write scenarios. Yes or no? So what is the objective here writing the scenarios? So that we are covering all the requirements, all the test cases we are writing. So entirely for a coverage, for a better coverage, we write the test scenario so that we are not missing any of the functionality. So how we write, verify that user is able to register. So as a new user, you should be able to register. Verify that new user is able to register with email. Yes, with email or phone number, you can register. Actual result should be the bug report description. Okay, so your bug report description should be in detail, which will give all the details to the developer. What is the issue? You have to give the complete details. Okay. So do we need to create negative test cases also? Yes, we have to create negative test cases as well. Yes, Gopi, correct. We have to create. So like this, you create some of the test cases and scenarios. Okay. So now I have given the two examples here in this registration. So you create the scenario for the sending the request, accepting the request. Okay, as a user, what you will test. As a QA, what you will test for the sending, accepting request in these modules, write the scenarios. Okay. Yes, we have, yes, practice on Facebook, practice on Make My Trip, practice on the Amazon application, write the scenarios. Okay, you can practice the functionalities you already know, right? That these applications you already used. So you know what is the requirement, how to test it. So in order to test, write the test scenarios. Okay, so today's assignment to all of you is write 5 scenarios by your own. Okay, so 2 I have given the hint. Other than this, you write some more scenarios. Will you be able to write, guys? Yes, write the test case. What is the test case? The scenario in detail, how to test is the test case. What are the steps? What you have to do in that scenario as a user or as a QA, what steps you will perform as a user, what he will perform, those steps will come in the test case. Okay, and then bug report you can create. So create the scenarios, create the test cases, create a bug report. So in your bug report, create 3 defects. Okay, scenarios, 5 scenarios you write, test cases, some 7 to 8 test cases you write. So this is assignment for today. Yes. Yes, you have to create a file on your own. Yes. Yes. Look at the description headings. The same you have to give and then create. It is simple. Right? You have the recording. You can see again. You can create as well. You can refer it. Right? Okay. So then you have test case. It has all this. And then report, bug report has this. So now tell me guys, will you be able to write test scenarios and test cases, bug report? Yes, simple it is. Writing in your own words is fine. Okay, your own words you write. Precondition, can you explain once? Okay, so precondition is to perform the test. Okay, so to perform the test, you need some details, right? Some URL you need where you will test. So we discussed right here when we test. Tell me when we are going to test. Once it is ready, once it is development is done, we are going to test it, right? Without it is developed, we are not going to test. We will not be able to test, right? So we need a URL. Yes or no? You need a URL. Minimum basic thing is somewhere the URL you need www.thisfacebook.com or something. So your project URL you need. Yes or no? Without that, can we start the testing? Can we start the testing without this URL? Without the development is done? Yes? Okay. So without URL, we cannot test. Okay. So URL is prerequisite. Can I say this? URL is precondition. Can we say that? Without which we cannot proceed. Can we say that? Yes, no? Yes? Can we say that URL is the prerequisite without which we cannot proceed? Yes or no? Yes? So, prerequisite is something which is required, without which we will not be able to proceed. That is your precondition. Yes, precondition means yes, Tulasi. Right. Correct. Everyone able to understand? Good. Very good. Okay. So this is about the testing. Okay. So we will see some more details about in detail about the agile methodology, how the testing happens in the real time. Okay, some more topics related to testing tomorrow. Okay, guys. Any questions? Good. Good. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Any questions? Anything? Okay. Thank you, Priyanka. Thank you for your feedback. Okay. So you're able to understand the testing. Okay. Terminologies you are getting familiar. We'll cover Jira also. Yes, we are going to cover Jira as well. So tomorrow we will see the Jira practicals as well along with the agile methodology. So where I will be creating accounts for you and then you can access it. You can also create a Jira project which is on a Gmail registration you can do, which is simple. So we will see how you can do it by your own as well. Okay. So yes, we are going to discuss about practicals. All the trainings will be practical based. So try to do the assignment today. Yes. So try to do the assignment and then you will get a better clarity with this. Okay. So work on the assignment, create a few test cases. Yes, create few test cases, create bug report, create a scenario so that you get a clarity. If you have questions, you can ask. Okay. Yes. Okay, good. Thank you, Shifa. Thank you, Deepak. Okay, what is Jira? Jira is the tool. Okay, that is the software that we use for the project management. So, testing, project management, okay, development, testing, all together, the project activities will be managed in Jira. So we will see tomorrow. So you will get you will get an understanding about it. So do not worry now what is Jira. We will discuss tomorrow. Okay. For now, just focus on the scenarios, test case writing, and then preparing it. So leave it to me that I will explain tomorrow that you will understand. Yes, Venkatesh. So tomorrow we will have more practicals. Okay. So today I have to create a base for testing. So it was bit of theory and bit of practicals, but tomorrow it will be more practicals. Okay. So tomorrow we will see some more defect creation. Okay. Writing the different types of bugs, how you will write, what different types of bugs you will get in the real time, what you have to test in the real time, actually, what negative test cases you can write, so that you are able to find more and more defects, right? So, yes. Okay. Thank you, guys. Have a great day. Have a great day. So, yeah. Thank you, Tulasi. Thank you, Ankita. Yes, see you tomorrow. Yes, guys. Okay, so assignment you want. Okay. So I will give it here. So create the test scenario for a Facebook application. Okay. So create the 5 test scenarios for the Facebook application. Okay. Then your next is create the 8 test cases. Okay. So 8 to 10 test cases. 8 to 10 test cases for a Facebook application. Okay. So you make a mistake, which is fine. We will discuss. Okay. Then create 3 bugs. Okay, maybe login is not working. Okay, user is like not able to send the friend request, not able to accept the friend request. Just create a 3 bugs, that is 3 defects. Okay, so your own you can consider and then create. So these are the things you have to work on. Okay, so you can create it. Yes. Okay. So username, password, we can use 2 different steps. Yes, Gopi, you can write it in the separate statement also. Okay, you can write it in 1 also fine, 2 also fine. Just it is just 1 more line you have to increase. It's completely fine. Test case writing is flexible. You can write in your own fashion. Okay, few steps you increase, few shortcuts you use, which is fine. Okay. But do not write so many steps or so many things in one step. Okay. It should be easy to understand. Yes. It should be understandable to any new person joining the team. Tomorrow, any fresher or any new person is joining your team, then he should be able to execute. Yes, defects you can write for user is not able to send a request, user is not able to accept the request, user is not able to comment on a post, user is not able to like the post. Okay, like this, user is not able to join a group. You have Facebook groups and then not able to send an invitation to the group, or groups is not working. Like that, create 3 defects. Okay, Vinod, fine. Okay, so 3 defects are In general, you write any defects, up to you. Okay. Okay, guys, then we will end the session now. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, guys. Have a great day. Okay. So, okay, thank you, guys.